Hello, everyone. Um, I'm Ellis Reed. I'm with Dolby Labs, and I'm here with Tim Carroll. And we're here to talk about an announcement we just made with TV Azteca, which is actually about, as we said, reimagining sports broadcasting. So that's what we're here to talk to you about today. And with that, I'd start off with Tim. So tell us in the announcement in the write up for this, we said we couldn't say what the announcement was. Can you talk about what that announcement was that it was made just yesterday, and give everybody a view of what we're going to be talking about?
Yeah, and actually wow, that's much louder. We sort of delayed it all through the announcement yesterday and forgot, hey, we should mention what's actually happening. So ATSC 1, which has been around since 1995, as it's evolved, it's enabled things that have been sitting in the background, not being used. And TV Azteca noticed that for their coverage of Mexico, they could use features that are part of ATSC1 that are pretty modern. So they have enabled Dolby Atmos over the existing ATSC1 system, and with effort and work, but not much, it's kind of been sitting dormant. Shocking. How often does that happen? Easter egg.
Well, it's there. It's been there for a while,
Yep.
and so maybe you can say what's the highlight of this, and why is this significant?
So Pedro Carmona from TV Azteca explained it. I thought this was a great statement. He said, uh, the next morning after the test began, tens of millions of people in Mexico City turned on their televisions and had Dolby Atmos. Uh, they didn't have to buy anything. They didn't have to do anything. Suddenly, they're getting more from their broadcaster. That's a pretty good deal.
So Tim, if I understand this correctly, when they flipped the switch and they turned on the work that you did, if you have a regular ATSC1 TV set that's capable of Dolby Atmos, you could now get Dolby Atmos programming.
Yeah, the logo comes up, and really the work was primarily TV Azteca's engineering department. Charles Bronson back at Dolby, of course, our partners at ATEM, who all said, geez, we didn't realize this existed either. But yeah, that's exactly it. Nothing more than turning the television on.
Great. No, that's fabulous. So the question is, so is this for live sports? Is it for movies and TV? Is it for news? I mean, what can they get, in Dolby Atmos, as now that this is turned on?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take that means
Yep.
all of the above.
Yeah, that's right. So the way this works, really everywhere. So ATSC1, which pioneered digital broadcasting in North America, comes along for the ride. But what's happening in other services, content is sometimes created natively in Dolby Atmos, and there are other tools to keep legacy content passing through that same pipeline.
Wow,
It includes everything.
That's fabulous. I mean, so who is TV Azteca? So I'm going to looking at the crowd here. I'm not imagining everyone here knows who they are. Some will, some won't. Maybe you can tell us about, who is TV and Azteca and why is this partnership important?
So they are the second largest broadcaster in Mexico. Mexico City, they are transmitting to tens of millions of people. That's just Mexico City. Their reach is, of course, across all of Mexico. That's fairly important.
No, it is fairly important. So Mexico City, over 20 million people. TV Azteca, anyone there, and that could actually now get Dolby Atmos to their TV set.
That's the case.
No, that's fabulous. Now, is this limited to Mexico? I mean, Mexico is the only place it's being done. Is this something that's only available, can only be available in Mexico, or is this a more general global thing that could happen?
No, this is actually part of the ATSC1 standard. So as standards evolve and things improve, the first part of when ATSC was first released, ATSC1 it was AC3, which we know commercially as Dolby Digital. As there were more efficient versions of Dolby Digital, EAC3 or Dolby Digital Plus, that was added to the standard. And the reason for it was for subchannels and emergency services and other things, it's helpful to have a more efficient codec, little bit less data rate. As EAC3 or Dolby Digital Plus evolved, it added the ability to carry objects. And so just naturally, over time, within the ATSC 1 specification, the technology was there to support Dolby Atmos. And so, yeah, it's sitting dormant, and any place that is supporting ATSC 1 has this exact same capability.
Oh, wow, that's fabulous. So I could do that in the US, I could do it in Canada, I can do it anywhere that there's been a digital transition to ATSC 1.
Yeah, which is a lot of places,
Which
a lot of viewers.
No, that's fabulous. So I have to ask you, if this has been available, why is no one this is the first time this has happened. Why has no one done this?
It's a good question. I think it kind of existed in the background. ATSC 1 was working for the way content was being created at the time, 1995,
Right.
How much 5.1 channel content was there outside of cinema? It took a while for this to catch on. Now with the popularity of Dolby Atmos within music, it's in consumer devices, it's in automobiles. I think somebody got the inkling that, hey, this is the same thing that's in ATSC 1. Can we actually turn this on? And that was Carlos at TV Azteca. And we said, well, let us check it out in the lab. It should. It's part of the standard. It should just work. And
Wow.
it just worked.
You mentioned Carlos and Pedro at TV Azteca. Maybe you could tell who they are, so for the audience here, just so we have an idea of where they sit inside of TV Azteca, so you have an idea who we were working with.
So Pedro is the CTO, and Carlos works for Pedro, and the group of engineers, it's led by Carlos, and they report to Pedro. So they are the two top technical people inside of TV Azteca in Mexico City.
Great. So this was led from the top down at TV Azteca, so considered fairly important then.
Yeah, and the thing is that as we found out working with them, we didn't actually realize who we were working with. It's like, you're the what now? Usually it's the transmitter guy. That's fine. We work with everybody, but we're very lucky. So Pedro is an audio guy at heart. Goes back to his earliest days, which were in recording.
Yep.
It was analog in Mexico City. He was there as they transitioned to digital in the studios. He had a studio that was hybrid analog digital, right? You do the drums in analog, you do everything else in digital. Really a pioneer. And so in hindsight, it's not totally surprising, right? It's like the right people, the right specification. And it's like, why not? Okay, why not? Let's try it.
Wow.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, we all know what the worst could happen.
Yeah, but
they could bring the network down and there's no TV, and then we get phone calls and everyone complains. So that's the worst. But it didn't happen, right?
No, it didn't.
So
we did our homework. It didn't happen.
It's actually running, so it didn't actually happen. So are there no regulatory barriers? I mean, can you just do this? I mean, like, do you not have to make are there any rules against turning this on?
No, the standard is adopted and the standard outlined constraints. So A52 is the audio part of the ATSC 1 standard. A52A added EAC3, and A53 provides the constraints, and it's completely supported. So the only thing that you have to do, and this is not a burden, there has to be AC3 for the main program. There just has to be a version that's in AC3. That covers every device made to support ATSC 1. And for, with the shipping numbers of devices that support EAC3, Dolby Digital Plus,
Right.
That works in addition, and the devices automatically pick the latest generation of codec. So, but AC3 makes sure that nobody is disenfranchised. Nobody will lose audio by turning this on.
Oh, that's fabulous. And I know the penetration numbers for the AC3 and the AC3 is 100%. So pretty much every TV is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, every
That's
TV
right.
that's out there. So what about the technical barriers then? So I mean, is this a matter of going to the encoder and just making a change? I mean, what did your team have to do to make sure that this worked?
It was, and everybody, here comes the man of the hour from TV Azteca. He's walking into the back of the stage here.
Yeah.
Here is Carlos. I was just singing your praises.
Yeah, we were just saying good things about you. I was explaining that you're the CTO of TVS. Yeah.
No, he works for the CTO.
Oh,
Carlos
works for the CTO. My apologies.
But hang on.
But
This is Carlos's idea. So he brought it to the CTO, who didn't believe him at first. And then Carlos proved it. And here we are. So I'm sorry, I skipped over your question.
well, no, that was actually you answered
You
answered a better question. You know, I should have you answer yourself questions. Yeah, well, actually, here, yes, yeah, bring that. So, actually, now that we have you here, Carlos, say a little bit. How did you come up with the idea?
A crazy idea, and it's the principal efforts. It's for thinking the possibilities of the format. This is the year's motivation. After many problems, but this is the first thinking in the cross to my mind.
No, that's great. And so, do you guys both can tell me how did the partnership start? Like, had we been working together for years, or I mean, how did you connect?
Yeah, that is true. It does go way back with broadcasters as well as consumer electronics manufacturers, right? So that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
You asked about technical. I just remembered the question you were asking before.
Were there any technical hurdles? And actually, got the perfect.
Sure. I mean, there were. It's never.
Oh, here, we're bringing you up.
In theory, it's as simple as flipping a switch.
All right, I feel good. Now I got the partners on either side.
There we go. Thank goodness.
Good to see you. Fabulous.
In theory, it's as simple as flipping a switch.
Yeah.
But it's never that easy. So some things came up. But the good thing about ATSC1 is that we know all of these weird things. Like if you see a PTS error, we know that, 30 years of working with this system, we know how the system works. It behaves. And so that made it easier to troubleshoot. But again, it takes a dedicated staff. Carlos and his staff were working I was getting texts at crazy hours with really encouraging pictures. And I was like, yeah, come on, let's go. And again, help from Atem. Imagine it was a team effort. And what drove it was, I think what Carlos was referring to, this idea of this experience can be better. Let's do it.
Thank you. And obviously, it's many hours of hard work. The working in the night is very, very easy for the people of the broadcast industry, but the pressure is very, very intense. And obviously the possibilities of the fail, the and very, very strong fail in the signal, and very pressure for me and for all members of the team in this implementing. But the first step maybe is a master of Tetris for the correct package all the information in the train of the very small.
Mm-hmm.
But the exit of this project is product of the many efforts of the many engineers from Dolby, from TV Azteca, and from the others partners with the codecs and the process the signal, and it's possible. Right now, it's very exciting, the possibilities, the future possibilities for the package in the stream, the signal, and it's very exciting for me and for the team, your 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 team, and on obviously TV Azteca and Dolby.
Yeah, no, that's fabulous. And I think you said something that anyone who's a broadcaster knows is you had to make all your changes at night. You can't do things where you were going to bring the network down. So your team was working, I'd say, fairly tirelessly to make sure that this worked, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and it's not easy, but it's possible. And obviously, it's very caution for the different twist in the signal. But it's the word is of the braves, and it's I need many braves decisions for Pedro, for example,
Yeah.
for the testing this signal test in the air, in the live, no, and it's here. It's
Okay, so you said it's here. So you guys tell me, is this live now? If I were in Mexico City and I had my ATSC1 TV, I do have an ATSC1 Dolby Atmos TV, I could get Dolby Atmos from your signal
yes.
today, right now.
Right now, no. For the kickoff, it's in the FIFA World Cup.
Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, you're going to kick off at the World Cup?
Yes,
You're going to pick the smallest match in the world to kick this off?
yes. It's this is the objective. You know, right now it's in cities, selectional cities, for the time for the start the FIFA World Cup.
Okay.
But I'm me and many other members of the team working hard for the more cities in Mexico live this experience.
Great. Now, which cities in particular?
Mexico City,
Okay, so Mexico City and what, Monterrey and where other places?
maybe Monterrey, maybe Guadalajara, but Mexico City is 22 million people.
So we've got to start there because distribution across the country, every broadcaster does it differently. Some of it's satellite, some of it's ground based. So we have to do that a bit at a time.
Okay, great. So you're going to start in Mexico City
Yes,
with the FIFA World Cup,
yes,
and then you're going to move from there. So 22 million people in Mexico City will be able to watch the World Cup in Dolby Atmos.
yes.
Fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to sit back and go.
Just here,
Started small.
just here. It's director of the transmission of TV Azteca, Manuel Janeiro, engineer here. This is the man of the more pressure on the whole team here. Thank you, Manuel, for this. Yes, absolutely.
working
Yes,
overnight.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, let's talk about Dolby Atmos and why Dolby Atmos for sports. What's going to be different about the experience?
It's absolutely. It's old. No, the format it's not for channel. It's for objects. The experience it's more similar to the inside of the stadium, and very similar to the sound experience inside of the stadium, and it's very easy for the audience. No, only need one TV ready for Dolby Atmos for the learn the codec, and one sound bar, and it's oh no.
I think this is going to be a totally non-scientific answer, but it's backed up by an aging gut. And that is that when you have content, stereo is really hard. When it comes to dialogue intelligibility, you've got 2 channels, everything in same region, same loudness. It's difficult. So being able to have that content reproduced separately absolutely does make it an easier listening experience. More enjoyable for sure, but also easier. It's noticeable.
The position of the sounds, you know.
Yeah, and what's exciting is I'll add to this because you have the rights in Mexico to deliver the World Cup, and then we actually have Telemundo here in the U.S. delivering in Spanish as well, and is going to do it in Dolby Atmos. So, but basically for this World Cup, the Spanish language will all be in immersive audio.
Yes.
In,
Yes.
in Americas, that's fabulous, right? So that's absolutely an amazing thing. So Tim, when you heard about this, like, how did you respond? Because you and I both know I never heard of this before. So what was it like when you first heard that they were doing this? And then what did our team do to then step in to help?
First response was, let's go.
All right.
Why? I mean, we knew that the standard supported it. It's just somebody had to be brave enough to give it a try. And that's what came together. Right? So the team tested it. Charles got a bunch of televisions together. We tested it in his labs in San Francisco. We were confident in how the consumer devices would respond to this. And then, then we could expand a little bit further and say, okay, here's what we did. Here's what the settings were. You try it. This seems to work. And so Jose, along with Carlos, and there was a little bit of configuration because it's different. They were able to replicate it. And so it grew from there. It was very, very fast. I think I said the word speed dating in the presentation yesterday. It was quick.
Absolutely. The mastermind, it's Roman, the engineer Roman Hill here. It's a programmation in the master control. This is a man. And in the other side, obviously in Dolby, it's Charles. Charles is a genius, and obviously these 2 guys, it's the same crazy, and I love the interfaces and whatever it takes for electronics and whatever. And this is a really masterminds in the project.
No, this is great, and I'll say this, having worked in broadcasting for as long as I have, when someone told me that you could do this, I said, no, you can't. So you proved me wrong, and a lot of us are proved wrong. So let me ask, I told you what my one industry person felt when he first heard it. I mean, what's the feedback been? We made the announcement yesterday. What's the feedback? What have you seen press announcement? Well, I've seen some of the press, but I want you guys to tell me what's the response been?
So this is happening in Mexico City. I'm hearing about it here. I'm hearing about it from people that we've worked on committees with for a very long time, just smiling and saying, wow, same thing, Ellis, right? I didn't know. That's very cool. So it's already coming here. I have also seen some of the press that's going on in Mexico.
Yes. And many people very happy for the possibilities. No, maybe right now in this day and yesterday, not understand exactly what is the impact for this development, but in the past of the days of the weeks, I'm very sure with the project understand best, and obviously the possibilities is many. And in the is not only from Mexico or from USA. It's for the old countries with the use the standard. The possibilities for the old continent, and this is a real impact. Is this? It's the impact is a continental impact. Yes.
So do you think this will set a new a new standard for immersive audio in broadcasting?
The standard is ready.
So I guess it's not even a new standard. It's
No, it's
Okay.
very easy. It's just my first comment. It's the intention of the many information inside in the small box. This is the principal difficult of the project.
Yeah.
This is, but the standard is the same. The type of the train of transmission is the same. The transmitter is the same. All this similar to the standard right now in operation in the continent.
Oh, that's great. I mean, well, let me ask this. We got about 4 minutes left. I'm going to just sort of ask a question. What's next? Now that you've actually, done this, I mean, what do you guys see as coming next for this partnership? And what are the next steps over the course of the next year or so?
A nap would be first. No, we do have a lot of work. So part of this is going to be working together to document what's been done, and what the next steps are to get that beyond Mexico City. We certainly want to talk about this. So Carlos is the head of the AES chapter in Mexico City. We want to involve the AES, make sure that people understand the value of standards that are well thought out. It may not be immediate, but sometimes you can take advantage of that later. Yeah, we have a lot of talking to do. The tech side is, thankfully at this point, fairly stable. We need to get the word out about how this is possible. It's a bridge, right? That's the other thing. What's next? I mean, it's as we're seeing here in America, next are more OTT services, right? So this is nice coexistence. And actually, on that note, this is something that we talked about this earlier. This does coexist within ATSC across both standards, ATSC 1, ATSC 3. You can do Dolby Atmos on both. How cool is that? It doesn't happen very often that it works out nicely like that.
So let me just make sure I understand what you said. I am a broadcaster. I'm delivering ATSC 3.0, and I'm delivering ATC 1.0, which is all of who are doing both.
Right.
And I can put Dolby Atmos simultaneously on both signals.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyone getting my signal can do that. Look to the engineers. And okay, he's nodding yes. He's not wavering. So because he's going to make you do it.
No more compromise to the engineer. Maybe.
All right.
But I'm very sure with the relation of the Dolby and TV Azteca is very old. No, and the development it's part of the ADN of the TV Azteca. It's a very other developments in video, 3D, 4K, and Dolby 5.1, and right now it's Atmos. But I'm very sure in the next years, in the next months, many other developments working side by side with Dolby and other companies with the standards of the industry.
That's fabulous. Tim, any last words? We got a minute left.
I just I see some of our friends from ATEM in the audience. I really want to say thanks. We don't have to ask twice. They step up. As crazy as the ideas are, they never say, this is crazy. They say, hey, this is crazy. Let's do it. That's pretty cool. Really helpful.
And I'm glad you said that. Yeah, and Imagine as well.
Yep.
So those are your two main partners to do this.
Yes, and I'm yesterday and today many phone calls for what? You're crazy, man. It's a crazy, and many other people. What happened? What is the next step? And obviously, set-top box manufacturing. Oh, I need to speak with Manuel and speak with the other engineers of TV Azteca for ready for the next generation of the products. This is the real value. It's a kickoff of many changes of the flow of the signal in the transmission, distribution, and the user in the final user.
Right.
This is the real value of this project.
All right. Well, I think with that, you're saying this is the start and we're at the end. So thank you all for coming. And thank you. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, TV Azteca.
Thank you, Dolby.